Alpha Kanun, the presidential spokesman, is between at the studios this morning. Good morning, sir. Happy New Year.
Good morning, Lambrana. Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year to all Sierra Leoneans, including our revered president,
Waiting is page 9. It's page 9 of the presidential address. It says, this must be a year of action, a year where plans translate into a real improvement in people's lives. Our progress will be measured in simple ways, whether public services work better, whether food is more affordable, whether jobs are created, and whether the government responds effectively when citizens need help. Is this President Bio making another commitment and promise to the people of this country, accepting that, policies or programs no directly don't improve people in life?
The conclusion we make is not correct. For say,
I wasn't making a conclusion, I was asking a question.
Well, that question there, I will say no, that's not what he means. What did President Bio mean by this speech? It reminds me of my principal in our school when we go sit with O levels, all of us, and get a winner assembly. It do what they call an exhortation. For tell you, say, your future is in your hands. What you do today, now you go determine which kind of progress you do now. Right now, you're there at the middle of the river. You get for swim to get to the other side. So don't bring we this far. So now we have to put in real action for make we go before. And that shows you that this president, now in person we care for the people we at the moment now in the lead this country. President Bio, don't show we say a message. Now, a message we accept challenges, but at the same time, it gives hope for the future and the potential of both the people and the country itself, now Sierra Leone. So everything then are we on hand for make we go able to go. Until we say change, not to think really happen at once, in a continuous process. In fact, they say in life, the only thing that is constant, not change itself. Because yesterday, maybe I want bicycle. I don't get a bicycle. Tomorrow, I want keke. I want Okada. You keep hoping. That is the essence of living and looking forward.
So is it more about giving people hope and accepting that, we've not been able to impact on our lives directly, but we never get up, say we can't just do this in 1 year and then it will happen just now. But how this be year of action? All the years them hasn't been years of action?
It's a year of continuous action.
Not say continuous.
No, me say so now. You ask me questions, so me self they try for interpret.
Okay.
Waiting me Boston talk. Waiting me president will say. Now continuous action with EPAN. I just tell you, say, we principle put we before the assembly, before we go sit O level. He exhort we. For say, yes, we have been on try. But this is the time that you get for proof. They tell you, say, our progress will be measured on how we change lives of people. Our progress will be measured, how we able to make people them feel, say, their life don't change, delivery don't day, and all that. And that is the way. It's like having read through a syllabus. It don't coach we now. It don't can't tell we say, this is the time where we forgo show say, yes, what you been the area from and what you been to do. That. And you talk about delivery. I could say progress not there. When in the period from 2018 to now, I don't build 17 bridges for you. That not to progress? I could say progress not there. When he came in 2018, we they pay school fees for picking them. Now we know they pay, not to progress that day. I could say progress not there. When before, picking all 3 years, government they force you for let you go school. But now they do. Then they chase you. That is progress. So all the things that we don't tell you to do, we say you go do, you don't put them for we, you don't put the direction. Now we for follow that direction. As Waitman say, you can care horse go na water, sigh, but you will force them for drink. So in the tell you now, this is the time, now we safe now for drink the water, for let we quench with test. So I believe that President Bill don't behave exactly like a leader. A leader will sabi you side for go. A leader will they show you who side for go. And himself they go the way. And he's done that. So there are certain things, a lot of things that we don't do for we able for appreciate. Like the other day, we go in our meeting when the PS, Ministry of Health, they begin give you statistics about the infant and maternal mortality in the country. I knew that when I was in government. I mean, no say infant mortality in Sierra Leone be very high. It's 1,700 people deaths for every 100,000 live births. But now it is down to 550. So we are making progress. Still very high, but we are making progress. It's changed itself. It's not immediate.
You said the task before a government is not to promise more, but to ensure that what we do delivers a result that people can recognize in their daily lives. Repeatedly, the president, they talk about waiting people for expect and how whatever decision people in governance they take or whatever policy or program for touch the lives of people. Is it the president's understanding that people they complain. And in Christmas message, he actually talk about, all the concerns where people they raise about the economy, about living standard and all of that. You usually can get an analogy about coach, about football. Where you don't play game, able to win in the start of the match to the second half. Now, 9 minutes, they push the player, them say, "Una need for win this game by force." Is that what the president is giving?
The game at the moment, Sierra Leone is leading. Because in the first half, I just don't give you some deliverables. 17 bridges.
Yeah, but
you don't ask me questions.
Those things about
you see, the things I like about you.
No,
I'm coming.
No. You don't make the point. I just want to add to what I say.
Sometimes it becomes difficult talking.
No, I just want to add what I say. So you go make do on one side.
Well, you confuse me.
No, waiting.
Well, say it once and then ask me after.
Okay, so what I want to ask is that taking stock, you go expect the president making this address, telling people this is what we've achieved. This is what we're going to do. But the president, they tell people, they say, this year, a year of action, and we go make sure, say what you they do, impact on our lives them directly. It's not that not accepting that things have not been affecting the lives of people.
What he's saying is that we have not won the game yet. Because the game not on it. This not half time. We just don't come on at the dugout. With the kind sign now, for the second half of the game. This is the time we get for make sure to win that game. So far, we don't do well. One, we don't keep from losing in the first half. We don't show a lot of things. I just gave you some statistics. We, in football terms, now goals they won, they will not score. Now, in the second half, if we win that match, come 2028, when they go blow the final whistle, President Bill able to turn around and say, I won this match, so my legacy is good for my people. But who are those people who are playing this game? Now we Sierra Leoneans. The people employed by government. In total, not reach 50,000 in Sierra Leone, that I can tell you directly. And for 8 million people for making able to cross the Rubicon, you need everybody for get on board. Now that make you say, this is not a time for shared responsibility. As I say, action here. Action here, Ingo Day, now the sidelines, as a coach, as a manager, he will watch the game for see, and he will not hesitate. Like any side, any wing, where you see weakness, he will get for change that. It becomes a year of action. He get for make sure say he deliver. So that is what he's doing. He exhort me. He's preaching. He's talking to us for exhort me for let we say grab. Let we get a fire in us. It's a battle cry. Let we make sure say a nation we want for say in a developed nation if we're able to feed itself. That is what he's saying.
How then plans shall therefore translate into real improvements in the lives of people? How this year therefore be a year of action, as the president declared?
Well, I just tell you, in the last years, 2018 to 2025, we don't see great improvement in a lot of things. I just give you that. And for there, we will continue. For improve the lives of the people themselves have to take the bull by the horns. For make it translate into deliverables for we all. He go able to tell me, but in a one man, at the head of a team of about 50,000 people, put it that way, government, really call. Everybody else is a participant. Now this game here, so one we for push them forward, while instead they tell me for let the right people they wait and at the wings, then make sure say then do what's important for let them make sure say that ball goes into that goal by 2028. And now we people get for do that. Now we get for make sure say we pass the ball right, we do the right things, the strategies we show you, the agriculture, the improvement in rice production, and shifting a little bit away from also just eating rice every day, go looking at other food systems in the country.
As you like livestock the other day.
That is it. And I have to talk about that when you give me a chance. I really can't hear today for talk about petete. And I will tell you how and why it changed Europe. Now that I can't tell you. So there are opportunities.
So is the president also speaking to his players, the coach, speaking to his players directly? Because they ask you repeatedly the question about how people go measure the impact in their lives, because leadership is about una they do as well, una way appoint, how una they deliver for the people. Is he also speaking to people where he give position for deliver for the people?
Doubtless. Now we mean year of action. We don't make action and win. President Bill knows you don't follow, you become the weak link in the team. That chain has to be strong. And I say so.
I'm asking.
He get for make sure he readjust them such that in game will carry on to a successful finale for Sierra Leone by 2028. This not have time. Just don't come in and you don't tell me say we be ready for play this game for let we win them. And it is a year of action. If anybody or any appointee where they possibly not able to move with the same speed as the team, you cannot become the weak link, because then the team has to become weak. You don't want a weak team this time. It wants us to carry on as we've been do, and for make Sierra Leone see the deliverables where they're able to measure we progress by which we deliver to the people, by which we change the lives of the people.
The public for expect new players for join the team?
I am not President Bio.
You're the presidential spokesman.
I am only a mouthpiece.
Yeah, you speak to the president. I expect. If coach talks say we need to win this game, we expect them for carry.
Well, that is what I'm telling you.
Some players there.
That is what I'm telling you. You know when Arsenal when they get problems last year or something like that, then bring in some new players, and you see the difference.
So you're saying we should expect?
No, I'm just telling you. Bibura Warriors will be the struggle last year. Today we're at the top of the league. We brought in some new players. So if it means bringing in new players, go make you win that match, do it. That's what Sierra Leone wants.
And we should not be surprised if we see that the president bring new players.
What do you want?
No, I'm asking you.
Or sentiment?
No, I'm asking you. I don't speak for the president.
No, what do you want?
You're speaking to the people.
The president, they do what you want me people them. He wants successful now. You know, they look at sentiment. They look at objectivity. They look at ability, capability, and things like that. And His Excellency says this is a year of action. And that is a big word, ACTION. When you act, you're able to see a reaction. And that reaction is the change in our lives, the improvement in our lives, the continuous improvement in our lives.
Let's ask this other question. The president say, we will live within our means, focus on what matters most, and use public funds openly and responsibly. Is this president accepting that government don't spend irresponsibly and we don't waste money? Percent he thinks say this year we will spend responsibly as a country?
If we don't do that, the country for don't go bankrupt. If we don't declare what you call an austerity, we have not declared that. The governments just don't receive another $78.9 million from the World Bank or IMF, I think, for the way the governments they carry on with the projects and the programs we then get together, which means we're doing well. What he's saying is, continue doing what you are doing. Let us continue living within our means. I think the word that you missed to put there, sometimes it is not all the lines that the architect they draw for us, Naim, for make you build, the us you build, now you they see. They left some lines them invisible. The invisible line there is continue. Now they say, we will continue living within our means as we've been doing. So he left the word continue. He assumes so you go fill in the blanks. Now I'm telling you, as a spokesman, it means that we can continue. We have not failed, but we can improve. Like I told you when I came in here, I say if better is possible, good is not good enough. So we're always striving for better. Change itself is the only constant in life. You must keep changing, otherwise time will pass you.
Continue to live within our means. Does it mean cutting down wastages, maybe excessive travel, and reducing appointees and appointments and overlapping agencies as well, and spending more on making things them where they affect the lives of the people indirectly?
I can clearly tell you that the president, during all of his time, unnecessarily travel. Wastefully travel. He always did travel for a purpose. There's always an end game. And whenever he goes out, he come back with something. I've always told you, sitting on this chair, I tell you, say, if you go fishing, now below you they take, you send them, then you will catch the kuta. But if you put a mackerel, sometimes you will catch one whole whale come. So what president is doing, traveling there, going there, is to fulfill a role as the salesman of the country, top salesman of the country, the top diplomat of the country. Because when he is there, things change. You see what happened when the last time he went to the UNGA in 2025. Not so there, he meets with the World Bank President, J. Banga, he meets with the World African Development Bank, who confirmed to him that you are the first country. We give you this compact for this, not the MCC, for the M300, for the M300, which we have accepted. And you asked for about what? $2.2 billion. We are ready to put that because your program will work for us. Can you imagine if the president didn't go there for making able to get that assurance, or then the people that we get for put the money get the assurance from the president, and then they go have president know they travel.
The of action, should we expect more traveling, or the president go there with you and supervise the team on how then they play and put them, deliver the actions then?
Thankfully, we have technology these days. Wherever the president is, be he in Tihu, in Port Loko, in Abuja, in New York, he always there on top of things. And besides, he has a very capable vice president. We're there for look at the daily ins and outs of the country. So day today, day today, the country will run as if he is here. So technology helps us to do that because he has a plan. Now I make it talk. So we get a direction. When you don't put a complete direction, then you do go to the right way. And that's what we are doing. So yes, if president is not here, the country will still run. But be certain that when he is out there, he will come back with something.
Answer my question. I ask how this year get for Tanlek. Is it going to be more trips for the president, or he will stay home and supervise the year of action?
I just answer you. If the president is not here, there is a vice president. If the president goes out, one, don't forget, say, all this year until the end of 2026, he is the chairman of the ECOWAS region, the ECOWAS heads, authority of heads of state. And what has happened? Immediately after I take this, there was a coup d'etat in Guinea-Bissau. He had to go there, then calm the place. He said one person died. Not so. Then that's what happened again. When he came back here about 3-4 weeks ago, there was a coup in Benin. As ECOWAS chairman, I was surprised. I go visit the foreign minister that Sunday morning. As I enter, they tell me, say, there's a coup in Benin. And immediately, the foreign minister take phone. He talked with the president of the ECOWAS, the presidency of ECOWAS, what do you call it?
The ECOWAS Commission.
Commission, and then they get in touch with President Bio. At that time, they decided that the first thing to do here is not to wait another hour, not to wait 2 hours. Talk to President Alassane Ouattara. Talk to President Tinubu. See if we can step in there immediately and prevent a situation. So within hours, there were boots on the ground from this action that they took. Before you know it, there was a condemnation, a statement of condemning the coup and also saying that the ECOWAS would step in. And ECOWAS did step in. We were able to stave off that within a day. So that is kind of thing that she's doing as a leader of the region at the moment. And because of these responsibilities, yes, you will expect him to be going from time to time, mostly to Abuja, for good things like that. And then, of course...
So it will be more of West Africa traveling than...
No, I say mostly to Abuja.
So it will be mostly to Abuja
because of the ECOWAS.
But and we should not expect much of other places.
If there is need to do that, like for instance, they have just called the UN Security Council meeting because of what happened in Venezuela. I don't know if it is taking place today or sometime this week. If they call, and he is a member, Sierra Leone is still a member of the ECOWAS, the UN Security Council, they have to be there. And it is an important global issue that will affect you and me, that will affect those people in the Caribbean. As an instance, there are friends of mine who are in the Caribbean and call me and say, I said, don't close all of our airspace. Nobody goes nowhere. Even if you have to evacuate a sick person, you cannot do that. So these are not best times. So you will expect that leaders, such as President Bio, who don't become a global leader, we don't become a global leader in especially difficult situations. Because the last November, he was in New York, chairing the UN Security Council, and he was able to pilot through the Resolution 2803 for the Gaza ceasefire. And they got to 13 out of 15. And the two who did not vote, they just abstained. And that's it. So it means that he has the ability to navigate through difficult global international situations. So you must expect him to be there.
The president
there are not many like him in the world.
The president saying this new year, economic improvement must be felt in everyday life. How the citizens, the people already watch and listen to we now, we expect economic improvements for film, not in life. How? In this year of action.
The first thing we born begin. The moment you open your mouth, the mama de Bobby. So feed is the most important thing. So then go feel economic improvement through food security. Then go try follow improve that. And it don't show we say he's capable. This government is capable of doing that. There was a time when rice price was being run away in this country. It almost touched 1 million. Today, as I talk, it's about 650 millions or 650,000, whichever way you choose to call it. But it is a 35% reduction within a year in the price. And if it continues in those, if we continue doing what we are doing in terms of improving the production of our own food systems, rice in particular, but potato and cassava are also very important. If we improve on those, this can fall further. And when the supply, as it is now the harvest season, you see me the harvest and all that, as it is now the harvest season, there is more supply of rice. And some of you who studied economics, I did not, I am an engineer, who studied economics and say when supply increases, demand remains the same, that means still there is 310 Prices go down. So we will see that happening. One,
So there'll be more food in the market.
oh, there's been a lot of food in the market. Now, Yusuf know that. Food day in the market. Now, the prices we're talking about to make sure that they go down, and they are going to go down.
So that's the understanding of, impacting directly the lives of the people with food.
Exactly. Food is one. Health is another. I just gave you examples of the infant and maternal mortality rates, which is about 60% improved, and we have been congratulated by WHO for that, being the country that has changed the infant mortality rates fastest in the world. So that is something we must remember. There is also an impact on the people of Connaught. You know, that maternity unit that we opened, it's a very modern maternity unit where partners in health work with government, then build NACO. That is something. There was also a hospital that we opened in Jembe, near Gerehum on the way, which is about 300 beds, and all that is going to make impact on the health of the people. So yes, the impact will be on food, health, education, and of course, service to the people. The president talks about that, and technology.
One of the things where the president talk about is investing in people and protecting young people. The issue about drugs in the country, creating jobs for young people as well. This is government we promised for create, is it 50,000 or so job within 5 years?
500,000.
500,000 jobs within 5 years. And you read, there's a recent World Bank report where we talk about the high rate of unemployment still in the country and all of that. We're clocking, by 2028, President Bill go on 5 years. How far are we with creating jobs for young people and addressing the unemployment situation? And the president said this is not the year of action. Should we expect all those jobs to be available?
That is what he means by the year of action. You see, it is the context in which we look at unemployment. Unemployment, when the World Bank and the IMF and the international organizations measure that, they measure that in terms of the countries that they come from, industrialized nations. These are producers, these are factory people, manufacturing countries. We are not. We are agrarian. We na plant with a plant. We na farm with a go. And I keep telling you, no, they believe me, you, the journalists, always say, Alpha say this, but it's a fact. Most of the young people in the rural areas, now farm then day, this morning, night is Monday, holiday done, and they enjoy. Until yesterday, they are back on the farm harvesting. Those who are not harvesting, they are planting jekato, they are planting pepper, they are planting okra and all that. Petete with the harvester right now, they eat them. You can see that. So we are ready again for the dry season with the plant in a swamp. So there's always activity upline. But when you talk about paid employment, this is how you get for go, then write your name, then give voucher, you sign, a PIN code, this and that. Those is low. Those are low because this country not get industries. Now he make president the try for say we have to improve in our manufacturing capacity. How do we do that? Even with the agriculture, we get to make sure so we get processing systems. And processing systems factory, food safe when you make up, now factory. So we're going to make sure say every area gets a food processing factory. Now,
3 years down the line of promising those 500,000 jobs, is there statistics from government side of how much you don't create so far? It's 2 years more to 5 years. 2023,
at the time where President Bill promised those. August 2023. This is only January 2020. It cannot be 3 years. It's less than 2 years. So you work on that.
Is there statistics of how many jobs?
I am sure there are. You see, when I can be very unfair with Alpha Kanu, when they ask me about things when I for bringing other actors, other players in that field. Where I tell you
no, they bring them, but you speak to the government. So you speak for the president.
Oh, you just understand? Made it, you just made it right.
No, you speak for the president. Yes. You clearly they understand what things. I'm sure you get briefing with the
president. Lays the plans.
Yes, you must know what's in the president.
The president lays the plans as he has done.
Has there been more jobs since the promise?
Of course. You can see. If I tell you, even in Port Loko, the CTC mining. Before the promise, there was no CTC mining. And not to Japanese, then they work there. Asylum people, they work there. People from Port Loko, people from Lonsar, people from Mashaka, people from Bo, people from Lunge, Narendede. So that's an increase. You understand? And beyond the CTC port, CTC mining, they also don't build a port, now the Mafoki area. You understand? That is also absorbing people. Okay? And then beyond that, Leon Rock, where they export iron ore, is now mining bauxite in Port Loko also. So there's a new activity added to Leon Rock, which would they work there? Now Sierra Leoneans, okay, you have some Chinese people working there, but those are at a very high technical managerial level. But those people who do the day-to-day work and all that, now Sierra Leoneans, yes, there's been an increase. But if you want to know how much that has increased in the sector of manufacturing and production, now Dan Dinafo called the Minister of Employment and Labor here. I am sure he will give you figures. I don't have those figures. I work with the man who draws the plans, the designer.
And the
is the designer. He's not the builder. Well, okay, when he calls them to build them, the so until now we listen
the spokesman covers.
Yes, but the spokesman
speaks for the president.
The spokesman only tells you what the president says.
Okay.
The spokesman doesn't add or subtract. I am an amplifier, and I don't want to see amplifier. They add something on the record where they put inside for their play.
So you need to add.
How can I do that? That's not my job.
Okay.
Those who can add, now the president now go add it. Tell him, I don't add this, so go and do that. But you know the factories also in Songo, they are producing iron rods now in Sierra Leone. That not been there before that promise. So there's a lot of things happening in this country. We go work for it. There is also the pineapple factory within Asumbuya in Bo district. You know, all these kind of things. These are progress. This is not progress where we for glad for. It is going to be turning of the sword on the road between Cambia and Kamakwe. Can you imagine? Since time immemorial. There's a bridge there they call the Baneke Bridge. The Baneke Bridge, they were in Kano, they pass there. And this is where the trucks pass to go to Tambaka, to go to Simimbunji, and all this kind of thing from that. But when we make that road, you go see, say, activity, they increase so much in this country.
There is this statement on democracy and responsible politics, you know, where the president talk about. And he say, as political party, then they begin for prepare for the 2028 general election, including the selection of flag bearers. They call on political actors for act responsibly, a committing governments to fully implement the recommendations of the tripartite agreement, reforms and we say essential for restoring confidence in election processes and rebuilding trust in democratic system. How the president don't share the idea about, you know, power sharing or inclusive governance. How this get for happen? Should we expect more engagement between the government and the president and other political actors?
Well, we can already see evidence of that. The country is relatively quiet politically, almost throughout 2025. I hardly hear about any political boast or political violence somewhere since everything done within call. So the political parties, overseen by the PPRC, and they get a very strong chairman, they make sure say people then behave responsibly. We don't get cases, we never happen in this country, of where the APC, they fine them 120 million for utterances on radio. Then pay. We don't get a case where the SLPP, we have been fined 150 million for utterances where they consider a little bit of incitement of something like that. We pay. So when you begin to see penalties being levied on political parties, which not been happened before, it means that they are no longer above the law as they thought they were, and that those street violence went in and they can happen no more, they condone them. The president, they just buttressed that. In the Friday, 2nd of January, Agulonsar, one of our friends, a school friend, body friend, Alaji Amid Kaba died, so we go for Goberam. But of course, Lone Sar, you get a lot of APC people, some SLPP, we did it. So when I go there, you know them young bobo the way can feel say APC, SLPP not for going inside. I think some of them started making say Alpha Caron can I which they can do now and then one of the flag bearers we've been doing. Sorry Suleiman said I tell them say well I don't say that man Naim mentor ye. Well I don't say we no care for political violence and offense. Make sure say you behave yourselves. Now I don't say wait no more. It's a PPRC there. If we not do something, we can't find we now just so I don't want anybody doing something where you could make things change. So there's now a feeling of responsible leadership within the political parties, among the flag bearers and all that. I have seen the APC flag bearers meet.
One of the promises, one of the commitments, the agreement for national unity, that the president, there should be this continuous meeting, regular meeting between the presidency and members of the opposition for break this issue of tension at the country. Is that going to happen under this year of action?
I am sure, but you heard him say that the government and his government, under his direction, go lead the implementation of all the recommendations of the tripartite. And he just quoted one of the clauses in that tripartite. Yes, the government will meet opposition leaders. The government, the opposition leaders will meet the government, and they continue meeting. And the tripartite committee is in operation, where they meet almost every week. And from there, they are ironing out, because that tripartite is what you call an instructions manual, a guide for how we for lead and how we for run with politics leading to the next elections to make sure that Sierra Leone continue for the see peaceful elections. But of course, within the president, he don't propose that constitutional agreement and all that for us to have a government of national unity in a diverse, whatever you call it, with national unity, which has been done before, and we can do it again. If we shape the power and we put it there, we make sure, say, when something goes wrong, we are all responsible. When something goes well, we are all responsible. So it's now going to be that proposal that there is no longer winner takes all. We're gambling, like a gambling, where you chap, you take the money and around you they go. We go down now like a lottery.
Finally, Alaji, what kind of leadership the public for expect from President Bill inside this year of action we don't declare so?
An intensified monitoring of government activities, as proper assessment of all players within the governance system, for make sure say they stay within the guidelines that he has laid and the direction that he has given us for its success. It is going to be a stronger manager on the touchline to make sure that everybody is working the way it's supposed to be working, because there are so many other people who want to work, want to play in that game, and because there are so many to choose from, he has that opportunity to put a little bit more pressure on us with him there to ensure that those things that he wants will be done. I think failure for him is not an option anymore.
And in statement is a warning to una the players.
It's an exhortation to us, the players, and to citizens. You see what I say? It is a shared responsibility between government and the citizens. We work together. When we work together, we will succeed. And one of the things that is going to work on the agriculture, because you tell you, say, country, when we will feed himself, cannot be really sovereign. So for me, I tell you, say, I want to talk about potato.
Yeah.
Will you give me a chance? I will tell you.
No, talk about potato.
Let's talk about potato. Thank you very much.
You show the potato.
I tell you, let's talk about potato and cassava. These are food systems suited for Africa. But first, let's tell you the story of Europe. Europe, all this is, oh, they're getting for it and all that. You know, in the past, before the 14th century, that is around the 1500s, Europe been starved. They don't get enough food. Until Columbus then go America, they go bring that thing they call petete, the one that they call Irish potato. When they bring kind of Europe, they spread them in Europe, people not eat them. They say, oh, this is not peasant stock, not to food for elite and all that. But they are starving. Until one day, an agronomist, where he own himself now, don't become synonymous with some potato dish them in Europe, where then they called the Plata Parmentier. His name was Antoine Augustin Parmentier, an agronomist. Now he decides, say, if they can't advocate for let people and begin eat this potato because now food stock, we'll look at. People don't really do them. So what he do? He recruits the king, Louis XIV, and his wife Antoinette. Then decide for help, for make people they know say, this food not to for poor people. So they say the king and the elite begin eat them. They begin hold dinners or potato dinners and all that. To the extent that the king in wealth now, if they take them potato leaf, now they put them here, where they go party, now it's for let people they say, this is an elitist thing. To the extent, when that Europe take it over, you know they're people angry in Europe again. Now so I am going to talk to people. Petete and cassava, now big food item. Cassava in effect, you can plant and left and grown 24 months, 1-2 years. You know the well. So you don't even need store. Left and the ground no more. Anything you want, you go admire. No go far. Look at the Igbos in Nigeria. In the small film they always see. We see that village woman go say, I can't go cook. No side they go. They go be a yard. You go dig the yam, you dig the petete, you cut the ewedu, you come. You can't cook. Their store is in the backyard. So this is what we must do.
So 2020 can be year of petete and cassava.
As well as rest. The rest is much more difficult because you need fertilizer, you need this. Cassava don't need that more. Petete don't need that more. And you don't need so much water for make with them because we rain carry no come. We see you meet up that due December. You plant cassava in December. Believe me, by April, May, you the root them. By June, you the root them. We in the plant some more. So na a very durable crop with drought resistant. We for pay attention to. We go Burkina Faso. They know they eat gari, but then they plant cassava. Then they make gari. You know what they do? They sell it to Ghana. Then they export them. Like how they export gari to Nigeria, to Guinea now, for encourage with people because now money this. If you able to plant enough cassava for get gari for let you eat, sell some, the excess what they left, trade that and the way they buy them. If it's not buy more luma, you see the trucks, the trailers where they load gari for cargo. You should say, then they pass diamond because every year it grow. Diamond no they grow. We don't pull I don't done.
Finally, Alaji, is the president concerned about the current U.S. ban on Sierra Leoneans?
He is a responsible president. He's so very concerned. And as I've been told, you people, I think I was on Liberty TV the other day, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs has been there as well. Certain things and they wait until we say we for do. And most of it, now attitude. Because one of them, now overstaying. They say when they give you visas, we Sierra Leoneans, when they give you visas, we'll go, no, they come. 38% they stay back. They have the statistics, and it's quite high.
Well, the most recent overstaying are people that already carry service passports or the
now, how many of them?
The most recent from where?
No, but how many of them? I'm talking about generally. How many of them? How many people carry service passports?
Government was actually negotiating, and from where they put to a partial ban in June of last year to September, they don't give any B1, B2 visas. The people that wouldn't give visas, the Minister of Foreign Affairs even come out and mention somebody where they work in the Ministry of Labor. We go and not come again. So during that
is an isolated case.
So what I'm saying, the point I'm making during the time where government they negotiate with the U.S. government, the people that we don't go overstay, are people that actually really work for government.
No, I'm telling you, how many people work for government we get this passport? Look, no, make them not trivialize this.
No, I'm not trivializing. Yes, I'm just giving you the fact that
I know the fact. Let us look at the numbers.
Of recent time.
That one did not cause 38% overstay.
No, I'm not talking. I'm saying After the 38%, government was
Well, that is the
negotiating.
statistics that they gave us.
So,
And the American embassy gave it.
so at which rate, you say the president is concerned? Is he involved in the negotiation of this?
Very much so, through his Minister of Foreign Affairs. There are almost weekly discussions on that and strategies that are being planned. I am sure there will be opportunities for us to go back, find through maybe special envoys and go to Washington and go and try and meet people in the State Department so that we can put our case directly and show them the effort we are making in order to reduce this. This is what Ghana did.
Is President Bill planning to meet with President Trump?
President Trump, anytime he wants to see a president, he invite him. If President Trump invites President Bill go go. They are leaders in the world. There are only 193 of them for 8 billion people. President Bill is one of the 193. So if President Trump decides, one of these 193 na President Bill, I want for see, he invites him. He will never say no because the world is too big, the population is too large for 193 people. One person say, me and that one, they meet. Then for meet, for little plan, the security, little plan.
In this year
the
of
safety
action,
of
this
the-
visa ban is part of the action government's
Yes,
for address.
yes, definitely.
Finally, you're enjoying this job,
Very much so.
and you gonna continue for the play this part until 2028.
As long as President Bill want me and my health and the energy and life permit.
You're not ready for retirement.
Yeah, my friend, we retire, what you go do? I still go plant potato. I'm planting potato now. I'm planting rice now. So what I get for do? My job is a job that I can take to thy kingdom come, like a lawyer, like a doctor. Then don't know whether they retire. I go left for receive salary. Well, about my advocacy, I'll continue it. Especially, I want to be the next parmentier of Sierra Leone. I want to make sure, see, potato and cassava become a serious staple. You know, like them Creole people. Every Saturday, now for food and they eat too. That is diversifying. If we reduce the amount of rice we eat, instead of eating 3 times a day, like the Guineans do. The Guineans, they eat rice in the morning, no. A bread and butter or something. No matter how poor, you go buy bread, you get small butter, you eat them. 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, they eat rice. Even time, they don't eat rice. So they eat 2/3 rice less than we they do. You understand? We they eat 3 times. They eat it once a day. In the evening, now, na salad, then go buy potato, then go take lettuce and cabbage, then put them together, they eat. But we now, I wake in the morning, I get for it sukoli, I get for this all night rest when we. So if we try for change with diet,
So you don't
culture,
need President and Casada advocate.
I will be. I will be the parmentier. I will be the parmentier of Sierra Leone.
You see yourself playing in any other wings?
Potato and Casada advocate.
No, within the government, I mean.
I am happy where I am.
Okay.
Really am.
And you're enjoying it.
I enjoy it. Thank you.
Finally, waiting are your message to Sierra Leoneans? This is a new year, you know. Waiting you want to tell Sierra Leoneans, really watch and listen to it.
Thank you very much. As Alpha Kanu, the farmer, I want for Leona no say, the card and say Pantimni, Kata, Makapaero tough, Kapaero sing. Han, we know the afraid for touch dirty. You know the tire for put a anamot for it. So if we really feel say we responsibility for feed we safe, now we get them, let we follow the advocacy, the direction where President Bill they try for sure. Let us all go back to the farm, even if it's just behind your yard. Go plant cassava. One time when I'm in the Milda, Matru, Bo Road, I go there, I meet Susi, who side the bulldozer, they clear the dirty, then put on at the ground, on the side so, and tin up there. You know the people in Bond what they do? Then they cut the cassava sticks, then chuk, then they. And after some time when I go there, then cassava they don't grow. Okay. So if you pass the street safe, you can stop your motor car, you go to cassava, you eat them. This is what it's called food security. Do anything. Some people, in fact, in Thailand, they say when you eat anything, any seed, we don't just throw it on a ground, na bush, no even a ground. Throw it on a bush. After some time, it will become a tree and give you fruit. This na God, na Him don't give you this blessing. And Sierra Leone is a blessed country. If we really want to be sovereign and food self-sufficient, let we follow President Bill, which they say. The employment is in the bush. The employment is in the factories, because there are not. How many factories in there? You get Winjin, first we get National Workshop, there again, we get the factory na Songo. There are not many for Absorbway. The government jobs, they're not plenty. We would work for government about 50,000 for 8 million people. Pull the Peking and 4 million people. How we all go work? The best thing is, let us go to the land. Let us produce so that we eat and export and make extra money for we save.
Thank you,
I tell all Mantenki, listen to the president. Let this be a time for working together as Sierra Leoneans. Let us be looking at the possibility of getting ourselves into a government of national unity. We are 16 tribes. 16 tribes. A government of national unity will include everybody. When everybody is included, nobody will make plaba. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Alhaji Alpha Kano, the presidential spokesman. He says still enjoying job outside day, and he will be the post way go advocate
The parliamentarian
the parliamentarian
of Sierra
Leone
Yes.
for Petete and Kasada. We need to diversify with you the eat. Thank you so much. Let's take a quick break. We can talk to Dr. Mahmoud Idris Tawali. We can talk about leadership, governance, politics, and what you for expect this 2026. Alhaji Alpha Khan just don't talk about inclusive government. Let me shape the power. So we'll shape the power. We take a quick break. We can shortly.
Let me work together.
Continue for stay with you. We come back shortly.
I get one fine free mommy country, so don't waste by 2007, so don't go to Legable. One good day, it's good day, like today. Money go day, this go day, that's so day. But this are the experts for the film we are doing. Who da go be the next president? Line on me, this are the experts for the film. Who da good money, no, we never get.
This the way that game to God the past me. Imagine Salone after 2007. To God it just like heaven. But in a light, now so the place guys. If you see the host they will relief fine. You guys not go believe. These kids them not gold. What's in a eat, he gave up. What's in a money, no photo. All man sits them not do. Nobody not get bad ads. Nobody not the big. Nobody not the thief. Anti-corruption not there. Nobody not the commits crimes. Yes, man they keep him money na go. They go, he can be pick and back. Man they pray to God, one for one, the year. Angel like he can down, keep comping and go back. Muslim they pray na church, Christian they pray na mosque. Nobody not the sick, nobody not the die. What's in a golden diamond, now they take for Bible. What's in a Hummer limousine, inside they remain for. What's in me work for Papi, if Papi no, I know it. As I hope in your soon, the sorriest parts for me.
I get one fine free mommy country, so don't waste by 2007, so don't go to Legable. One good day, it's good day, like today. Money go day, this go day, that's go day. But this are the experts for the film we are doing. Who da go be the next president?
Me a
Line on me. This are the experts for the film. I get one fine free mommy country, so don't waste by 2007, so don't go to Legable. One good day, it's good day, like today. Money go day, this go day, that's go day. But this are the experts for the film we are doing. Who da go be the next president?
line on me.
This are the experts for the film.
When I went so I see all my one be president.
Indeed, we all want Salon for better. That is Sergeant Dream still there with we, well, 2028 now go decide who go be the next president. Like the president say, this year I get for be very busy for political parties and get for choose who go be the flag bearer them. Hopefully, then we get into election proper. The president committing himself also to the implementation of the agreement for national unity. They can't talk about politics, governance, leadership. We take stock of what happened in 2025 and what you for expect as a people, as a nation, for shape with conversation inside 2026. I get the pleasure for welcoming at the studios this morning, Dr. Mahmoud Idris Tarawali, and I don't say what the time will get Dr. this program. And we agree to start the year together. Dr. Tarawali is the head of International Ideas Sierra Leone and also lecturer, Department of Political Science na Fwabe College University of Sierra Leone. Doc, good morning and welcome.
Thank you very much, Lamrana.
Happy New Year.
Many happy returns. I'm glad you come eventually after.
Yeah.
But it's good that we begin this at the beginning of the year.
Exactly. I
Rather
agree.
than when 2025 be the end.
Exactly. So, you know, I know you've been involved in a lot of governance issues, helping government for look at the tripartite combination, the reforms, some electoral reforms and other issues them. But waiting now you highlight, taking stock of 2025, waiting you go point at say now one of the policy reforms we able achieve as a nation for shape perhaps waiting with a plan for do for 2026 and moving forward.
Thank you very much, Lamana. Oh, that's tough. So 2025 carries with it which you will call both the challenges and successes of 2023 and 2024, right? 2023 we'll get the elections. 2024 we move on into within 2023 we get the agreement for national unity. We create the cross-party committee, or they call tripartite, and 2025 was actually the year where we tried for ensure say we implement all the the 80 plus recommendations. In some you may go say 2025 in a year of mixed fortunes. It's also a year of missed opportunities, characterized by a relatively resilient economy. So if you look at the economy much more generally, it looks like stable, small. And a couple of reasons and there for that stability there. Because government, first of all, rebase the economy, where they expand the economy for include some informal sector where government not be the tax. And then they move with GDP from about 4 billion to about, it doubled to about 8 billion, right? And we mean say, with debt to GDP ratio also come down. But you also see enduring poverty. Despite all of that, the exchange rate stabilized. For instance, the dollar stay between 23.50, 23.70 for the rest of the year. But enduring poverty be also there. But beyond that, you see a whole lot of political maneuvering. Even within the tripartite, who say me the work. And they say, no consult me, and they say, no, I'm not aware that. Some progress was made, and I'm happy for talk about that. But you also see the elections, the political maneuvering, right? We get the drug epidemic. You get political and international consideration, but most specifically, this is something where you deal with, even if it affects you personally. That was very serious. But the government will call 2025 a year of kind of bold delivery, but for most Sierra Leonean, a year of economic uncertainty and a year of challenging social survival.
What are the missed opportunities where you mentioned? What we miss in 2025 politically, governance, the economy, and all we for being able to address?
So when I look at all of those things and I categorize then missed opportunities and mixed fortunes to maybe 17 broad things, and then really boku, 17 of them. So I categorize them into 3 themes. One is governance and political issues. The other one, now the economy. The third one, now social life and social implications. That's just a very broad brush we may put, but some of them are tied to one another. So for instance, the drug epidemic, large part of it is political, but you also get social implications. Families are affected, you also get economic implications. So you see 2024 started off with, 2025 started off with a very serious drug crisis. Ambassador Nagini, Motoka, then go Ulam na the border, associated with drugs. So then the team began early January 2025. Before then, the Dutch government discovered that we had your Slidercast, what we call Belly Joes. One of the great guys that were done convict for drugs na Europe. And found out say he didn't say and only didn't say is very close to power. Right? The request for let them extradite them. Government provides some other information we know immediately. Right? deal with the issues then there. And then they move from that point there now on the political trend come in the issue of lower level elections of the SLPP. And we all know what in line they mean, right? The division between RIM and IBEMA, right? And all the issue of the Kokoros and all those kind of things. But at the political front, we also see Sierra Leone take very important positions, right?
Globally.
Sierra Leone was elected for a 2-year tenure at the UN Security Council, 2024, 2025. So what will get 2024 continue in 2025. And within 2025, again, President Bill was elected chair of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of States. But within that same 2025 again, now we get an initial restricted ban to the United States. And within that restricted ban, we're not able to deal with them. It takes way to a full-scale ban of Sierra Leoneans entering the United States. So if you look at them from a political lens, whilst we make progress globally and regionally as a people, the question that emerged is of what's relevance. Of what relevance is Sierra Leone chair of ECOWAS? Of what relevance is Sierra Leone a member of the UN Security Council when we've been targeted and banned by the center of global politics?
Yeah, which all the branding and
all the branding, what's that they mean for Sierra Leone? Then another thing I feel so for don't do, what we really try now for move towards the implementation of the tripartite committee recommendations, right? A lot of Sierra Leoneans don't see them right now, but a good number of legislative drafts don't happen when the office supports the office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice and the office of the Chief Minister and Parliament, a lot of things. We're now at a stage where we're taking those draft legislations this year to Parliament. But within all of that meets in that tripartite is how then do we keep an open and clear communication?
But that's the point. Even with the tripartite, with all those programs and our way, the opposition, they say, no, we are not involved in this, we're not involved in this, we're not aware of what's in the happen. The tripartite and all of this, like you say in 2025, we'll be able to get a collective bargaining. Usai the opposition and the government for agree, say, yeah, we don't agree on this. And then reform go shape we in 2026 of the things that we will do right for the elections. But moving into when you talk about Parliament now, we get disagreements. Just the end of last year, where the committee been go around and engage. How is that affecting, waiting we miss in 2025?
We miss in 2025. I'll agree with you, Lamran. And the challenge with that is we get problem with both. And I apologize if people feel not so happy with what I will say. The challenge we'll get is we get actors now the tripartite where they're too political, unfortunately. If I get me way, anybody where clearly they run for office, whether now the APC or the SLPP, if I have my way, I will take them out from playing a leadership role in the implementation of the tripartite committee. So that's the first thing. Yeah? And allow people we then just want the implementation to happen. Because sometimes what you find out quickly, those people who have a political interest will believe for politicize some of the things, right? They want for go day, me represent my party very well now, and I go this na a marker for tell you say I can defend your votes. You have people who went there with so much political interest, and tripartite became a platform for them for showcase their interest. This is not to say the organization and planning could not have been done better. The organization and planning and how we go do. I understand this don't begin happen. Because, I'll tell you for instance, Lamana, a lot of people don't know this. The Office of the Attorney General, through the technical support we provide to them, don't draft over 40 pieces of legislation. 27 of them are constitutional changes, about 30-something of them are legislative changes. So the 27, they affects the 1991 Constitution directly. The 33, they affect several other pieces of about 8 of them, from the Public Elections Act to the PPIC Act, to SLBC Act, to the Police Act, several of them, right? What could have happened in a much more better way is to say, anytime we meet, rather than we, all man, they can complain, say, oh, you not tell me this, or you not tell me this, you not tell me that. We lay out to bring them consultants or bring people like us and let's say, this is the progress we have made. This is the challenge that we're having. Let's clear this. You clear it off and everybody agree and we move on. In the last 1 month or 2 months before we close the year, that was happening. So a missed opportunities while progress has been made is to have ensured technocrats within the political parties that are not fully politicians to lead the process and represent the political parties. Another one is the US ban. It doesn't come suddenly.
Yeah.
They warned us first. They warned us, not like say it just happened. They warned me first, say, hey, if you not do A, B, C, D, the US president, not like another US president, is very transactional, right? If the issues where he wants us to deal with, they're very clear. Take deportees, right? Deal with the visa overstays, and let us have a proper lobbying and negotiation. We did not have anybody who understand Washington politics.
There's lack of leadership, Nadandi, they say.
I not feel like I got the locus for saying a lack of leadership.
Waiting lacking, waiting we not able to do, because we all see what Ghana, like you say, President Trump is very transactional, but he can be engaged as well. We see what in Ghana they do. You know, the foreign minister of Ghana and all of that. Other countries, how engaging they are.
So let me tell you what my thinking is. And this is just my own thinking. I can be challenged with that. I'm very open about it. I feel we're not able to assess the priorities then right. We begin remember, you sabi the ordinary Sierra Leonean, young government and they go accept deportees. Salon people and they did and they struggle with it and they eat. They want to send them a salon, you say let them come. So we begin put up some kind of a nationalistic, we not agree for let them send salon people. Right? Rather than seeking, so it's about a judgment thing. Rather than seeking to say.
But that's the leadership.
What we go lose if US ban we? And how do we deal with that? Yeah? That is what we completely missed. And there are two ways you could have achieved that. Accept the deportees. Second, go to look out for a very powerful US lobby. Somebody who I sure say, Minister of Foreign Affairs, and important people close to Marco Rubio, the US Secretary of State, when the Minister of Foreign Affairs, will get interaction. Somebody will go lobby the Sierra Leone case to the Trump administration at the White House, so that they understand the circumstance, right? We accept those ones, we lobby properly, but we can also use the Sierra Leonean diaspora, a very strong Sierra Leoneans within the US, with some of them very close to the congressmen and congresswomen, mobilizing things in there. But we took it as, oh no, Lord left no more than go change later. We no want poverty too much and alone and not send no brother and sister back. That delay, that decision making at the highest level.
But that's the argument as well. When some government people they say President Trump is actually saying we should. Then they propose, the US government they propose we will accept third-party nationals, like what in Ghana do. Accept them, take them, and send them to the country them. And we don't have the capacity to do that, in as much as there are implications, but we also get to sovereignty and security for look up to.
So the choice is very clear. What do you want? Do you want to be alienated from the most powerful office in governance and politics globally, or you want to stay close to that office? It's a choice. And I'm not sure which decision will the government of Sierra Leone don't take right now. Because the press statement from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs did not address the issue. It just told us what Sierra Leoneans already know. It not come across say this is what we are going to do as a government. So and listen, Lama, you see what happened in Venezuela? You see how Europe they even struggle for response? Not that they don't know what to say. We're dealing with a guy who is very transactional, who is ready to deploy the might and power of the U.S. Army for achieve what you want. And consider Europe and NATO that they largely rely on American security. They are very cautious. Look, the ECOWAS press release. Very, very careful. Not for say waiting for say. These are issues we should deal with.
What's the end point to this? How you think, say, we could possibly, I ask you about leadership, even though you say, maybe mention that, but do we have the posture for providing leadership for approach the U.S. government and address a situation like this?
I think if we are willing, we should be able to. We'll get 2 years now, UN Security Council. The entire process of international relations are deal making. It is how nation states interact in the international system. It's a give and take. We've been in the UN Security Council, we could have lobbied. We tenure done. 2 years, 2004, 2005. It just done this December, right? We could have lobbied if there are any significant thing we US want for law supports them in the Security Council, right? In exchange of us, deal making. That's what the international system is interest, right? But I just told you 3 clear things that the government of Sierra Leone can do today. First of all, they have to take a decision. The decision is what matters to us. Do we want to remain banned? Most families, they don't separate. People, they get wives and kids within America. People, I know business people who are not American citizens. They don't have permanent stays. And they fly in and they go to America, then go buy and load container. Then can Sierra Leone, then can sell. Good products. They cannot do that anymore. What are the implication on the economy? What is your choice? And the risk is the administration that we are dealing with at the White House. If you are allowed to say this derail, then you can take any other decision that you might not know. Don't forget, we are managing MCC, and this is the thing where they talk about the economy and social affairs, social things we will go there later on. The MCC money, it like the grant has been approved, but it's conditional on several other things. Implementation of the tripartite recommendations, right? Political reform, legal reform, right? If we're all within that process, we also get a ban. If you're not careful, and I don't pray for this for my country, is that then we say, okay, I don't want to comply. If President Donald Trump can decide, he wakes up one day and say, the ban, nearly 500 million we will help for strengthening public service delivery, which has been very, very epileptic in the last 1 year. That's another thing we can talk about.
Yeah, we can talk about that. And Church, I really want to talk about that because one of the things that the president talked about this year, a year of action, impacting the lives of people directly. And I've been asked Alpha Khan this morning if whether we've not been achieving that. But I want to ask quickly on the tripartite. Yeah. Are we achieving anything, or we're getting to a point where we spend time talking about electoral reforms and we go into an election where we get this disagreement between the political parties, they not get trust in the system, they not trust themselves as well. And whatever becomes the outcome of the election, we get the same disagreements and begin to talk about reforms again.
That's a real worry, Lamrana. I don't want it to happen for my country. That's where I work. There they get me livelihood for pay me bills. But I'll tell you, the facts as they are. The current fact is, apart from one or two recommendations, then we will not deal with it. One of them, they talk about the protection of civilian elections observers. Now, they will not deal with it. Another one, they talk about diaspora voting. And that recommendation, they will not deal with it. But every other recommendation, including the one we say we will create a search committee for the appointment of commissioners in the ECSL. All of that has been drafted into law. Mark my words, draft. They've been drafted into law. The Attorney General and Minister of Justice don't present all of these drafts to all the major stakeholders, including to the international community, right? In fact, the constitutional amendment, the 27 constitutional amendments have been gazetted. The Attorney General will lead them in our last conversation around December 11, 12th during the Civic Festival. He promised he will lead them early January, right? So
if the political parties are committed, if the political parties are willing, this is the time to knock on the doors of their MPs. Because for all you know, you could go down draft good thing. The MPs can go to parliament and reject them.
And one person we don't raise concern about all these things now the leader of the opposition at parliament. Very recently I watched an interview where IRN do with him, and he was raising concerns about certain things they were not aware of. And they spend a lot of money on this process. You know, government self, they spend resources, I'm sure. And we get into a point where they go to parliament, there's still this issue of trust, concerns, and all of it. Are we achieving anything? Have we been able to achieve something?
We have made significant progress. But if you buy like where they say we don't stabilize the dollar, the economy don't improve, yet we not get Salon people are still live in poverty, not so? So the ordinary Salon man will say, well, what are the impacts if you see the dollar don't stabilize and inflation don't come down when the prices are still very expensive in the market? So we've made progress. The amendments have been made, but until they are translated into law and those laws implemented, there's nothing. So for instance, we don't write the part where say, you go create now a search committee, and that search committee, they go help the president for select the future commissioners of ECSL until Parliament pass them into an act. And the president, I'm very happy with the president say he committed for implement those ones. And the president really allowed that process there for be fully implemented. Then we have not made progress. I urge the members of Parliament, because I don't know if my own small brother Abu Kagbona, a member of the tripartite committee, what will be happen along the line? The Attorney General be one for go present, then same drafts there. So then the MPs.
That was cancelled, I remember.
That was cancelled because of miscommunication. The MPs perceive this as a privilege. And I understand the argument of Honorable Abu Kabo. His argument was, this is not how a privilege is done. If you make a privilege, you get for gazette the legislative changes, right? You send them first to Parliament with a memo or communications. We give it time for study before you can make a presentation. You cannot call us, say, come tomorrow, or they can't talk about this. But what the AG was going to do was not actually a privilege. The AG was going to engage with them like he has done with all the political parties before the privilege and say, hey, before they come, not the privilege, I just want for, let we all get a rapport. Let me understand what you don't put there. Let me begin give me feedback. Let I go back, I go make adjustments before I come into the privilege. But by then I don't do the cancellation, say the thing not follow the due process. In my latest conversation with the AG, I understand he has had that meeting with Parliament and possibly a privilege will happen this January.
The issue of some of the reforms and the way they talk about, one of the major highlights in 2025, now the statement from President now in address to Parliament about, the type of election we'll forget, and they don't be a conversation you don't involve in them, and also the issue of, PR in the executive arm of government.
Power sharing.
Power sharing. Alpha Khan say the first will get an ICLO shape the power. People in the discuss, but presidency for start that conversation day. Is this part of the issues that are being drafted or part of the conversation?
All right, so let's just be clear. Power sharing is not part of tripartite. And there's an article where they finish for publication.
I hope you will give you an exclusive.
I will give you an good. And my argument is why are we even talking about power sharing? Across the world, both academic literature and practitioner evidence, power sharing happens. There is a precursor to power sharing. And power sharing literature shows say a tool employed for conflict resolution. Any sense where them put power sharing now for either end war or for end violence. We are not in that state. And people in the mistake in Sierra Leone, power sharing versus coalition. Coalitions are part of the political process, right? And coalition is not power sharing, right? A coalition like what happened with Pakaba and Timu Bangua That is not power sharing. That is a coalition. Political parties, they are free. They don't need a legislative process. Yeah? When Charles Magai supports former President Ernest Kouma, they don't need a law written. Say, let's work together. When KKY decides, say, will not they put a presidential candidate, I am going to support President Bio, those are coalitions. They are part of the political process.
But is it that the president is asking that we legislate this?
Yes, what that request is making is we put on our law books, say law do power sharing. It is as complex and impossible as everything.
Why?
Good. So the Speaker of Parliament say, he put one suggestion. He say, let's imagine that we use the PI, right? For instance, so if a party gets 40% of the votes, they will get 40% of seats in Parliament. They will get 40% of the executive. They will also get 40% of the MDAs. The very process of that, they feel say, is solving the problem. It's not correct, because the basis for the power sharing is also elections. It means when I go first, when I go contest elections. So you don't reduce violence, because people don't now say, unless I have 2% I get, that 2% they, it will give me a ministerial position. You are even making elections more violent by this, right?
So the fight for get whatever percentage will
It even become worse. So power sharing does not solve the
But
problem.
is it in order also to solve the issue of inclusivity?
No, it does not. What you need is to run clean elections. Run elections were not controversial. You know, would they kick the can down the road? Would they provide? Do you know why if we go to hospital and go diagnose you first and they give you medicine? They want to know the problem. We are prescribing, and in my article, this is what I argue. Are we suggesting the wrong medicine for the wrong diagnosis? Because what would you say about the presidency? So does it mean I should also have 40% of the time of the presidency if I get 40% of the votes? Who determines the ministries? Imagine say, okay, I get 40% of the ministry, but you give me social welfare, you give me this and this. Whilst I wanted defense, foreign affairs, and finance. Who determines that? So power sharing in this nature, as proposed by Sierra Leone, does not solve the problem. What in fact it does, it takes out the mandate of the citizens to elect a government and to bring in sanity within the government. So I feel that whilst maybe the president could be good intention, right? The idea of power sharing misses the fundamental principle of democracy. What you have in a parliamentary democracy is different. We're a presidential executive. In a parliamentary democracy, the source of power is parliament. Yeah, it happened in 2010. They been students in the University of Manchester when David Cameron, not able to forget what he need for form a government, then go into coalition with Lib Dems. Yeah, for form a majority. If Lib Dem pull out, then it lost the parliamentary majority. Those are coalitions. They are not power sharing mechanism. What we need in Sierra Leone is a fair country, is a fair state, where Lambrana have access to job, not because of where he comes, but because of what he's capable of.
But the argument has been it's always winner takes it all. We one party win in the region, na the young people them we support, na then they get them, and na then they get the position them. So man, they determine who say one day safe.
So that is what is wrong.
And so,
when presidents win an executive, allow them for rule. But when you go begin appoint people in the NIA, na Statistics Sierra Leone, now other people across all governments, not just one government. This is where the recommendation is so they can, because people, even the legislature they make, not change of attitude that we need. It's willingness to work together. You cannot legislate human behavior all throughout.
how do we get an inclusive government? We go in a power and we not say no. There were this region no more in this tribe.
You don't necessarily need an inclusive government. You need an inclusive society. I was telling my students the other day the difference between perfection and integrity. Nobody's perfect, Lambana. Me, I get small problem. You say I get small problem. You staff and get small problem. But do you know what is integrity? accepting that you make a mistake and you're open about it. That is integrity. It is not because you correct all sides. Right? So what government should do, you have the clear political appointments. Eh? Ministers, deputy ministers, these are political appointments. When the president comes, is elected, allow him to appoint the people who he wants for. Within his own mind, he has a party, which is a broad-based political party we cut across the country. Get people from every part of the country that are members of your party and we believe in your ideology for own government. Then you come to the public service and the civil service. The civil service and the public service should be merit-based and take them away from political consideration. Now, because would they add the public and the civil service as if it is part of the political executive, now I don't give you trouble. If Lamran are able to get a job, it no matter whether it supports the political party or not, now incapability for serve. You know what they make we also now? Now survival issues. Do you know why Lamrana does not care about politics that much? You have been able to carve a niche for yourself and earn a living. Several other Sahelians of my age and my lifetime now think the best way for survive now for be open and active in politics. Otherwise, you will not get a job. That is what we need to change. We need to go back and fix the elections. Where we pass in loss, he agrees, say yes, and not get the popularity.
Oh, we have a problem with that. You directly involved in this.
That's the point. So fix your electoral process. Once you fix your electoral process, you are done. Let me end on the, before we move to the next one, on the type of electoral system.
Yes, I
Recommendation 78. What in the recommendation say is, it said there should be a national dialogue on the type of electoral system that we want. You know, politicians then get away for kick the can down the road. Yeah? There's a small history about this. The de facto electoral system is first past the post. Now ending at the 1991 Constitution. Everybody knows this. All the politicians know this. Yeah? In 1996, when we want to go into democratic elections, then with the NPIC, we're not able to do census, we're not able to do boundary delimitation. You know what the NPIC did? Then pass a decree in 1995. We say, let us do PI on a national list. Some of us voted in 1996. Yeah? So the whole country was a constituency. You just vote for the party, the total number of seats the NNA use. Yeah? For avoid that problem, because that time because as Soja man, they not get no legal basis, but then pass a decree. When we come back in 2002, the problem was almost similar. What in Parliament do? Then pass Section 38A of the Constitution. And it's very clear. It says in an event where you're able to do boundary limitation, 6 months ahead of the election, we can use a district block proportional representation. So in the law, the de facto system is first past the post. If a circumstance exists, you can't do it. You use the PI.
But this is the problem. Everybody they interpret this thing we can.
So but they know that. But
Parliament.
The APC challenged this in the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And there is a legal precedent to this. They say the conditions will for use PI did not exist in 2023. And the Supreme Court made a judgment that no, the conditions exist for let them use PI. Right? So what we did is we go around the country and ask people them. The mandate was not to do a referendum. Which in some other political parties wanted us to do is to say, when we go around, 80% of the people say we want PI, or 80% say they want first past the post. That was not what, it's a dialogue. If you go, and it just divide across how the country look like. If you do a most parts na Freetown, na Potloko, Cambia, the northeast, people then go tell you say we want PI. If you go Nabo, Kenema, Kaila, Umbonte, and the other place, then yeah, the people then tell you say we want. Sorry, they will say we want first past the post. We're going to the southeast and say we want PR. So in the reports which our consultant wrote and which we submitted to the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, we say, hey, listen, there is no conclusive position on this. Some people then say they have loud voices which say we want PI. There are loud voices that says we want first past the post. However, we found a set of people who sat in the middle. We say, can we get best of both worlds? you can draw small PI, you can draw small first past the post. And there are examples of across the world people, when they use mixed system. We take small PI and small first past the post and use them. We submit that report to the Office of the Attorney General, right? Waiting the other party, then they tell, and they all participate. Anybody who tells you are not invited and alike, they all participate who will do that thing across the country. And we ended up that consultation day with a national conference in Freetown at the Bintumani Conference Center. What some people want us to say is, listen, the majority of the people are saying that this system they want, that is not the mandate, because we were not asked to conduct a referendum. We were asked to collect views.
Well, one of the questions, one of the issues that we don't come up now, the framing, of the conversation. If you get people who they go and say the PR now the best system, we don't put you into this, we don't put you into this before the consultation, and you already don't begin tell the people them what you already want. And what's very clear now that President Bio proposed a PR system, and if you talk to people in our governments mostly, go tell you say them prefer the PR system.
So it's a very straight dichotomy. SLPP wants PI. APC wants first past the post.
So
let me tell you, Lama, this is very straightforward. The SLPP thinks that a PI will give them better fortunes for win more seats. It will allow them to go to places like Port Loko, like Freetown, so not be they get seats and get seats. Yeah. The APC feels a PI system, a first past the post will ensure say they win more seats and dominate parliament. Both are wrong. Both SLPP and APC wrong. What you need is clean elections. Because if the elections are not clean, whether you run a first past the post or a PI system, then can still rig you. Somebody can still decide and say, okay, law go coriander, law make this, then can still manipulate. So what I think, in my own view, decision of, and this is my personal view, it doesn't represent my office or anything. Decision of an electoral system is not necessarily decided by electorates. It is done by experts. And they do them in the best interest of the country. In our own situation, what we have done, and this is where I have some small problems, I would have loved an open conversation, like led by the SLPP, to say, listen, as a political party, we feel, and all these arguments come on a freedom, where SLPP usually gets about 30 to 35% of the votes. The argument of the SLPP is, why is this that they get 35% of the votes in Afrito, they turn out to a seat? Bring it openly. Let the public know, say, this is your concern. Right? Do not fair way. Yeah, this is what our politicians have. They know they talk what they mean. And go just fair way. I would do the same if me a politician. I would say, bo, they get 35% of the votes in Freetown, but those 35% of those citizens hardly translate into seats. Are you telling me 35% of citizens no get rights forget a seat in parliament? It's a legitimate concern. It's a legitimate conversation. Let's have it. Yeah?
Now, part of the legislation, then, the part of the thing that we go parliament.
All right. So part of the first draft happened. So the first draft where they happen first now the constitutional changes.
Okay.
And now part of the changes them, not significantly big, but I will invite you for let's talk to the AG on this. I feel, and I'm not sure what's in the AG go down right now at the law. I feel rather than making two systems, say one day above the other, I suspect, I don't have the document yet, what the AG would have done is just to say, we'll put them two systems here together at the law. Yeah? They're all equal. We can choose anyone we want at any given time. That is my suspicion.
And it can be a contentious issue.
How
do we go beyond it? Because now part of the things that we build trust, because this party...
Believe me, for both political parties, the actual thing where they build trust. Now for ensure say, you get the PPIC, you get ECSL, we will not get no political agenda, we they run clean elections. If you are popular, it doesn't matter the electoral system, you go still win elections, and you go win them clearly. Run clean elections. The elections should be transparent. The people who are there are committed to transparency and accountability. Clean elections. They're not going to get problem of an election.
Do you see that happening?
There's nothing impossible.
But you work directly, and some of the reforms they are actually they speak to the president self talk am say that reforms there they build trust in the
Yes.
system and make we ensure say we get free and fair elections. And with your involvement in the process, is there that buying, that commitment from both the government and say the opposition for accept and move on?
So I have one marker where they tell me of the government in commitment to the entire implementation process. That's my personal marker as a citizen of Sierra Leone. The recommendation we say the appointment of all commissioners na ECSL go now follow an inclusive political process. Yeah? That are now at the dynamic point. Because you recall the Commissioner Kone, when at the chair, in tenure don't done. You don't go. Commissioner Alpha, who is the commissioner, the substantive commissioner for the Southern region, now in the act as CEC. There is currently no chair of the Electoral Commission. Yeah? I know a lot of people and they push the president here and there for appointing a new person. If President Bio waits until then draft here become law, you know, appoints nobody and he allow the new law for determining how the new commissioner is appointed. That is my own marker of commitment in reforming the electoral landscape and electoral ecosystem in Sierra Leone.
How about the conversation of which kind of election would they get?
The kind of electoral system, I also feel say all the political parties should be able to sit down. I feel if you, as it is right now, if you left us no more between the political parties, yeah, SLPP will always go for PI system. The APC will always go for first past the post. What you need is to have an expert conversation where you take the political parties out. You have people like me and few others and look at the nature of the political system in Sierra Leone and come up with a system that works for the country.
Let me talk about social issues in 2025. When in 2026, the president just declared this year as a year of action and how, government policies and programs would directly,